What would you do if the person you trusted most was secretly planning nights with someone else? And you found the proof hidden in his hotel room. I had been driving for what felt like forever. 2 solid hours up I-95 straight toward Baltimore. My husband, Ethan, was attending a 3-day transportation conference at the Marriott. I told myself I was just going to surprise him with dinner. But the truth was sharper. I suspected he was cheating on me. For the past 3 months, every time Ethan had one of these work events, something felt off. He came home late, distant, glued to his phone with a smile I had never seen before. He used to be warm, the kind of man whose energy lit up a room. Now that light seemed hidden behind heavy curtains. We had been married 14 years with 2 kids, Mia, 12, and Leo, 10. High school sweethearts, young, reckless, hopelessly in love. But love can rot from the inside when one person decides they deserve more. I pulled into the Marriott at 5 p.m. Gleaming floors, a revolving door, chandeliers that screamed wealth, everything expensive but honesty. I walked to the front desk. Hi, I'm Naomi Carter. My husband, Ethan Carter, is here for the conference in room 214. He left a key for me. The clerk checked, smiled, slid a key card across the counter. Enjoy your stay, ma'am. My heartbeat echoed in my ears as I walked down the faded, red-carpeted hall. Beep, green light. I pushed the door open slowly. Ethan sat at the desk, leafing through papers. He looked up, startled. Naomi, you scared me. When did you get here? I forced a smile. Thought I'd surprise you, maybe grab dinner if you're free. He hugged me. The familiar cologne, the practiced warmth, but it felt hollow. Let me shower first, he said casually, disappearing into the bathroom. Water rushed from the pipes. The room was neat, too neat. A hotel room should look lived in, messy even. This one was sterile, like it was ready for inspection. His travel bag sat by the chair. I told myself I was looking for aspirin, but my hands shook as I unzipped it. Beneath clothes and toiletries lay a small gift box, silver paper crumpled at the edges. Inside was a delicate silver bracelet. Feminine, elegant, absolutely not for me. Beneath it, 2 dinner vouchers for the hotel restaurant, booked for 9 p.m. The reservation was under the name M. Rivers. My chest tightened. Who was M. Rivers? The shower stopped. Ethan emerged, toweling his hair, smiling easily. Ready for dinner? He asked. I swallowed hard, hiding the box back in his bag. Sure, the restaurant downstairs looks nice. As he slipped on his watch and adjusted his cuff, his gaze slid past me. And for the first time, I felt the weight of something I had never admitted out loud. I had already been replaced. The restaurant glowed warm, polished wood and crystal glasses catching the light. Ethan ordered whiskey, I ordered white wine. We talked about the kids, about the mortgage, about the washing machine that was on its last leg. Safe topics, rehearsed lines of a couple playing house. Then his phone buzzed. He stood, excusing himself. Yes, a problem in the warehouse. I'll come up right away. His voice sharpened with authority, smooth, practiced. He returned minutes later. They need me upstairs for 20 minutes. I nodded. I'll wait here. After he left, I drifted down toward the basement level, toward the parking garage. I told myself I just needed air, but deep down I was looking for a sign, and the universe handed it to me. She appeared at the end of the corridor, auburn hair, crisp white blouse, eyes cold enough to pierce through glass. You're Naomi, aren't you? I froze. And you are? Margot Rivers. We need to talk. The name, M. Rivers. We stepped into a quiet corner. Margot's voice was low, measured as if rehearsed. I know Ethan. I know Melissa too, his coworker, and I know what's going on between them. She handed me an envelope. Inside were grainy photos, Ethan and a brunette walking into a cheap motel, Ethan leaning too close to her in a car, their reflections in the windshield unmistakably intimate. You've been spying on my husband? I asked. I've been watching mine, she said flatly. Victor Rivers, warehouse supervisor. He's the one who brought Ethan into this project. I think Victor is tangled in this mess too, or at least covering for them. So I hired someone to dig, That's how your husband showed up in the pictures. My stomach turned. What do you want from me? The truth, Margot said, her lips tightening. And a plan. Tomorrow, 11 a.m., Ethan and Melissa always slip out for materials. They're gone an hour and a half, every time. There's a camera in parking level B2. My guard runs it. We won't confront them, we won't make a scene. We'll just get proof. The envelope weighed heavy in my hands. Everything clicked. The gift box, the dinner vouchers, the staged phone call. I realized I had crossed a point of no return. That night, Ethan returned after exactly 22 minutes. He smiled like nothing had happened. False alarm, he said. I asked him about the conference. He answered smoothly, his eyes smiling without touching me. We took the elevator together. The doors opened, and another couple stepped in, a tall man with a hand on the back of a brunette woman. The man nodded at Ethan, a silent acknowledgement. Ethan nodded back, saying nothing. I glanced at his name badge as the doors closed. V. Rivers. The next morning, I left early, telling Ethan I had errands at Mia's school. He kissed me absently in the lobby. I smiled, told him to enjoy lunch. Inside, my chest was burning. At 11:07 a.m., I stood in the cramped guard booth on B2, Margot at my side, her face sharp as a blade. The guard rewound the feed and pressed play. On the screen, Ethan, appearing from behind a pillar, pressing the unlock button on a gray SUV. A minute later, Melissa entered, cap pulled low, mask covering her mouth, but her eyes were unmistakable. No embrace, no kiss, just a silent routine. They slipped into the SUV, the frame shook as the doors closed, then the car rolled out of sight. 90 minutes unaccounted for. I didn't cry, didn't scream. Sometimes the truth arrives quietly, like the blade has already cut before you feel the pain. I signed a statement, copied the video to a USB drive. Margot handed me a folder, entry logs, snapshots of license plates, meeting records. I'll use these in my divorce, she said. What about you? I'll take my own way out, I replied. Revenge wasn't my focus. Escape was. That afternoon, Ethan's company hosted a family picnic in the park. Mia and Leo darted through balloons and cotton candy, squealing with laughter. I plastered on my smile, waving at people who only knew me through Ethan's polished holiday photos. At the drink stand, a woman approached, brunette hair tied back, lips painted pale pink. You must be Naomi. I'm Melissa from the project team. Her smile was practiced perfection, her eyes steady, neutral. Ethan talks about you and the kids all the time. Of course, I said smoothly, scooping ice into a cup. He talks about the ocean project you're managing. Melissa's eyes flickered, just for a moment, then her smile returned. Yes, tough but rewarding. No confrontation, no scenes. I didn't need them. Because just then, Margot appeared at my side, placing a bottle of water in my hand, her gaze brushing past me to Melissa. Recognition passed between them, and for the first time, Melissa's smile cracked. That evening, back at home, Ethan tossed his keys on the table. How was the picnic? He asked. Fun, I said evenly. Then I slid the USB drive across the table, followed by the printed photos. Ethan's face drained of color. He opened his mouth, closed it again. I sat opposite, my voice steady. Tomorrow, I'll take the kids to my mother's. When I come back, it'll be with a lawyer. No yelling, no theatrics. The accounts, the car, visitation, it's all in this letter. I don't need explanations, because the truth has already spoken. Ethan stood frozen, and in his silence, I finally heard everything I needed to know. That night, I lay between Mia and Leo, listening to their breathing, feeling the walls of the home that had carried 14 years of love and disappointment. Tomorrow would be the first step into something new, and this time I wasn't looking back. If you think this story couldn't get more shocking, stay with me. Because what came next not only exposed my husband's betrayal, but completely rewrote my life. And if you've ever been through betrayal, tell me in the comments. I read every single one. The next Friday night, after putting Mia and Leo to bed, I called Ethan into the living room. He sat on the couch, scrolling through his phone, like nothing in the world was wrong. Ethan, I said, my voice steady. We need to talk about your job. He didn't even mute the TV. We've already talked. What's your problem now? I want you to quit Liberty Transport. I won't have you working around Melissa or Victor Rivers. That place is poison. He snorted, finally turning to me. You're obsessed. Melissa is just a coworker. I'm not quitting because you're paranoid. I leaned forward, anger trembling beneath my skin. This isn't paranoia. I see how you look at her. He stood abruptly, switching off the TV with a flourish. Naomi, grow up. Stop blaming me for your jealousy. I'm done having this conversation. He tried to storm upstairs, but I was ready. From the drawer, I pulled a folder. Inside, divorce papers. I slid them across the table. Sign them or don't. If you refuse, I'll file anyway. Ethan stared, his jaw slack. You can't divorce me just for not quitting my job. Not for that, I said softly. I pulled out the photos. Grainy motel shots, parking garage stills, the USB in its clear case. For adultery, his face drained. He lunged for the photos, but I caught his wrist. How else was I supposed to get the truth? You had no right. His voice cracked, equal parts anger and panic. You set me up like some twisted stalker. You set yourself up, I hissed. The moment you let Melissa into your bed. The sound of footsteps. Mia's door creaked open upstairs, then shut quickly. My heart broke knowing she might have heard. But I didn't falter. I had already chosen my path. In the weeks that followed, I leaned on Margot. Strange as it sounds, the wife of Victor Rivers became my ally. Our children played together. Mine adored her koi ponds in the backyard. It was surreal, finding peace in the company of a woman who had also been gutted by infidelity. Margot filed for divorce first. Victor fought viciously, threatening lawsuits over invasion of privacy, but Margot's lawyer shredded him. Photos, recordings, entry logs, evidence piled high. Meanwhile, Ethan grew restless. He accused me of scheming, of turning the kids against him. He demanded family dinners like nothing was wrong, trying to paper over the cracks. I refused. My attorney had already set the process in motion. Then one evening, Ethan cornered me in the kitchen. Naomi, you're making a mistake. You'll regret this. I turned to him, holding the envelope from my lawyer. No, Ethan, you'll regret this. Because everything you've built, your career, your reputation, it's all about to collapse under the weight of your own choices. His face hardened, but he said nothing. Silence had become his language. 4 months later, the divorce was finalized. Custody was mine. Ethan didn't fight. He must have known he would lose. He left town, following Melissa into a haze of broken promises. Rumors swirled that he lost his position, that Melissa abandoned him when things got hard, that Victor, too, was ruined after Margot took nearly everything in the divorce. I didn't chase the details. My focus was here, with Mia and Leo, with the quiet evenings free of lies. Margot and I grew closer. We were careful, not rushing into anything romantic. But our friendship was steady, built on truth, not secrets. My children adored her, and she showed them the gentle beauty of koi fish gliding underwater. One crisp winter evening, I stood in my backyard watching Mia and Leo chase each other through the frost. The night air was clean, my chest finally free of the heavy weight it had carried for so long. Ethan's betrayal had nearly destroyed me. But it had also carved out a space for something stronger, a life rebuilt on honesty, resilience, and peace. The scars were still there, they always would be. But as I tucked my kids into bed, kissed their foreheads, and turned out the light, I knew one thing for certain. The worst storm had passed, and I was still standing. This was my story of betrayal, survival, and rebuilding. If it shook you the way it shook me, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And tell me, what would you have done if you were in my place?